Welcome to Wansford Pasture. I only really discovered this place at the back end of last season, and it's a bit of a strange one for strange reasons, and that is that it's not a multitude of species you'll find here. It's southern marsh orchid and southern marsh orchid and more southern marsh orchid. You get the odd common spotted later in the season, but it's southern marsh orchid that dominate, and because of that they're quite pure, and you don't actually see too many pure thoroughbred southern marsh orchids anymore. They're all variations of hybrids with common spotteds, and because they dominate here, they tend to be pure southern marsh orchid, which, you know, I'm setting myself up for a fall in saying that, but that's what I'm expecting to see today. Hopefully they're in flower. They should be, but it's a bit of a weird time at the moment. We're in a bit of a drought, and it's starting to have an impact on many of the orchids that I'm seeing. But there should be southern marsh orchid here. That's what this site is renowned for. So let's go and take a look. What this site is all about, this slope that is heading down towards a small sort of stream area at the bottom. This slope has freshwater springs coming out of it, and the water's running down on the surface or just under the surface, and it's keeping it really damp, and that's ideal for marsh orchids. They love it here, so yeah, the terrain lends itself very much to the species. You can see the flecks of colour in the grass down here. I said I was setting myself up for a fall, and this does look like a pure southern marsh orchid, but I've just noticed, I don't know if you can see down here, but that leaf is spotted, and that means there is some hybridization going on with this one. It must be, at least to some degree, a southern marsh cross common spotted orchid. But there aren't many like that. Most of these are quite pure. And there's a lot of them. I'm going to get quite obsessed now, having said these are all pure. Again, another very spotted leaf plant, and actually that is probably a common spotted orchid. In fact, I'm going to say that is a common spotted orchid in amongst a lot of southern marsh orchids. Lovely sight. They're all quite small at the moment. I'm not sure how much growing they've still got to do. A lot of people are reporting they're quite stunted because of the drought conditions, but it's quite damp here because of the springs, so I think we just got them early. I should learn not to do intros until I've seen what's here, really. More spotted leaves. I don't know. The one on the left, I think, here think that's common spotted. I think the one on the right is a hybrid with southern marsh, but I wouldn't argue. Well, that is a 100% common spotted orchid, and I'm only really filming it because it's the first one I've seen this season. Only just opening, but absolutely 100% common spotted. Good to see him coming out. Southern marsh crossed common spotted hybrid. That's a pure southern marsh. I mean, basically the idea of a pure southern marsh comes from the leaves down here, which are broad and without any spots at all. And also, and you need to be careful when you do this, but if you just squeeze the stem, you can feel it's hollow, and these marsh orchids have hollow stems, whereas the common spotted doesn't. Now if it's a hybrid it could have a bit of both, but the leaves are the key really with the hybrids. This is a pure southern marsh simply because of the leaves. That one is a hybrid. The markings on the flowers do have a distinct common spotted vein to them, as well as the more traditional spots that you get on a southern marsh. And the spots on the leaves as well, so I know that. A nice sturdy plant, nothing stunted with that one, and it still has some growing to do. Well, there you have it, Wansford pasture. If you love your southern marsh orchid, this is the place to come to. There are hundreds, absolutely hundreds of them here. Just coming out, just head out of Wansford as though you're going towards Kingscliff. It's literally just 100 yards outside the village on your left, just before you turn off on the Kingscliff Road. And you know, as I say, the southern marsh orchids everywhere here, and they're well worth seeing. Ignore my intro. I'd say about 1 in 20 are hybrids. Most of them are pure southern marsh, but yeah, as you can see over my shoulder, it's a fantastic sight to see, and yeah, more impressive this year than it was last year. So yeah, Wansford pasture.